Pressure, volume and absolute temperature for a given mass of a gas are the three important characteristics of a gas. In thermodynamics, pressure, volume, absolute temperature for given mass of a gas are the thermodynamic variables. The pressure, volume and absolute temperature of a gas are related to each other by gas laws. For given mass of gas, according to Boyle's law, for given mass of a gas, according to Boyle's law, the pressure exerted is inversely proportional to its volume at constant temperature. For a given mass of a gas, the pressure exerted by the gas is inversely proportional to its volume at constant temperature. This is Boyle's law. From the Boyle's law, I am able to write PV is equal to some constant of proportionality. According to Charles' law, for given mass of a gas, the volume of a gas is directly proportional to its absolute temperature for constant pressure. Therefore, V divided by capital T is a constant. And third is pressure law or Gay-Lussac's law. The pressure exerted by the given mass of a gas is directly proportional to absolute temperature as far as the volume of a gas is a constant. Therefore, we will have P divided by capital T is a constant. This is pressure law or Gay-Lussac's law. Now, these are the three equations. Now, if we bring the three equations together, we will get an equation that is PV divided by capital T is a constant. What capital P is? It is the pressure exerted by the gas. What capital V is? It is the volume of a gas. And capital T is the absolute temperature of the gas. From the three, we will get P into capital V divided by capital T is a constant. This constant for 1 mole of a gas is same for all gases and it is equal to capital R. This constant P divided by P into V by capital T is equal to R is constant for 1 mole of a gas and it will be same for all gases and therefore it is called as universal gas constant. Now, this universal gas constant has universal value 8.314 joule per mole per Kelvin. Capital R is the universal gas constant. For n mole of a gas, for n mole of a gas, this equation will be P into V divided by capital R is equal to NR. Therefore, PV is equal to NRT. PV is equal to NRT. This is ideal gas equation. This ideal gas equation gives the relation between the pressure, volume and the absolute temperature of the gas. In this, where N indicates the number of moles of a gas present in a given sample of a gas and capital R is universal gas constant, which will be same for all the gases. Now we will come to the point, what do we mean by a mole? What mole is? Mole is the amount of substance. Mole is the fundamental unit in SI system for amount of substance. As it is a unit, it is the standard used for measurement of a amount of a substance. The standard 1 mole, what 1 mole is? 1 mole is the number of atoms present in 12 gram of sample of carbon 12 gas. 1 mole is the number of atoms present in 12 gram of sample of carbon 12 gas. We know that however the small amount of substance you may take, it consists of very large number of atoms or the molecules present in it. The number of atoms or the molecules present in a very tiny sample of a substance consists of billions or the trillion number of molecules. And in order to compare the number of molecules present in a given sample, the concept of 1 mole is introduced, and it is a reference unit. What it is? It is the number of atoms present in 12 gram of sample of carbon 12 gas. Now, 1 mole is a number. 1 mole is a number. The number of atoms or molecules present in 1 mole of a substance or 1 mole of a substance or of a gas is equal to 6.022 into 10 to the power of 23 molecules or the atoms present in it. One mole of a substance or gas contains 6.022 into 10 to the power of 23 molecules. The mass of 1 mole of a gas is called as the molar mass. This molar mass is mass of 1 mole of substance or a gas. Now, the 1 mole of a gas, 1 mole of a carbon consists of 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 molecules and it has a mass of 12 gram. Therefore, the molar mass of carbon C12 is 12 gram. In oxygen, the 1 mole of a gas contains 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 molecules, and the mass of 1 mole of oxygen is 32 gram. Therefore, molar mass of oxygen is 32 gram. In hydrogen, 1 mole of a gas contains 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 molecules, and the mass of these much molecules and 1 mole of a hydrogen gas is 2.016 gram. Therefore, molar mass of a hydrogen is 2.016 gram. From the given mass of a gas and from the number of molecules present in a given sample of a gas, we are able to find out the number of moles of a gas present in it. How it is so, that we will see. Let us consider a given sample of a gas in a container. This is the container which consists of very large number of molecules of a gas. These number of molecules present in the gas are N molecules. Then the Avogadro's number that we obtained is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 molecules, and this is equal to 1 mole. Therefore, the number of moles present in the gas in a given sample of a gas, number of moles present in a given sample of a gas is equal to the number of molecules present in a given sample divided by Avogadro's number. The number of moles present in a given sample of a gas is equal to ratio of number of molecules present and the Avogadro's number. If we multiply both by mass of each molecule, then in the numerator, number of molecule in a sample into mass of each molecule, this will give the total mass of gas. And in the denominator, Avogadro's number is supposed to have 1 mole of a gas. 1 mole of a gas into mass of each molecule, this will give the molar mass of gas. Therefore, the number of moles present in a gas is equal to total mass of a gas divided by molar mass, which should be equal to the total number of the molecules divided by Avogadro's number. Avogadro's law states that all the gases occupying equal volume, at same pressure and same temperature possesses equal number of molecules. Therefore, all the gases in 22.7 liter of volume, all the gases in 22.7 liter of volume at standard temperature and pressure, all gases and occupying 22.7 liter of volume at STP possesses equal number of molecules, and this number is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 molecules, and this is nothing but the Avogadro's number. Avogadro's law states that all the gases occupying equal amount of volume at same temperature and pressure possesses equal number of molecules. And from this Avogadro's law, all the gases occupying 22.7 liter of volume at standard temperature and pressure possesses 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 molecules, and 6.022 into 23 molecules is the Avogadro's number. This Avogadro's number is one constant which is nothing but number of molecules present in 1 mole of a substance or a gas, and other is universal gas constant. The ratio of universal gas constant R to Avogadro's number is called as the Boltzmann constant. The Boltzmann constant is obtained like this. It is equal to 8.31 divided by 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. It is equal to 1.38 into 10 to the power minus 23. It should be Joule per Kelvin. This is Boltzmann constant. Using this Boltzmann constant, the ideal gas equation PV is equal to nRT. It can be written as PV is equal to P into capital V, product of pressure and volume. That is the ratio of number of molecules to Avogadro's number, R into T. But R divided by Na is Kb. Therefore, I will write the ideal gas equation in one more form, that is N as it is, R by Na is Boltzmann constant into capital T. This is one more form of the ideal gas equation. The gases which obeys ideal gas equation at all conditions of pressure and temperature are called as ideal gases. All the real gases like nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, helium obeys ideal gas equation at normal condition of pressure and temperature. Therefore, they are close to ideal gas. In ideal gas, it is supposed that the molecules are widely separated, intermolecular force of attraction is negligibly small, the interaction between the molecules of the ideal gas is almost zero. But at high pressures and low temperatures. At high pressure and low temperatures, the molecules of a gas are very close to each other, and because of that, the intermolecular force of attraction between the molecules of the gas cannot be neglected. We have to take into consideration the interaction between the molecules of a gas. Therefore, real gases shows a deviation from the ideal gas equation at high pressures and low temperatures. Now, if pressure is low and temperature is high, if pressure is low and temperature is high, the molecules of a gas are separated from each other. The intermolecular force of attraction is negligibly small, and we can neglect the interaction between the molecules, and at that time only the real gases are very close to ideal gases. The real gases are close to ideal gases at low pressures and high temperatures, and at high pressures and low temperature, real gases shows a deviation from ideal gas equation. This is the difference between what do you mean by the ideal gas and what is the real gas. Now, then we come to the different aspect of the gas molecules, and what is that? It comes from the assumptions of kinetic theory of gases. According to kinetic theory of gases, the gas is supposed to be consist of extremely large number of very tiny particles of a gas called as the molecules of a gas. Molecules of a gas are hard spherical spheres. The molecules of a same gas are identical in all respect. The gas molecules are always in a state of random motion, and because of random motion of gas molecule moves in any direction with any velocity. The gas molecule can move in any direction with any velocity. The gas molecule during its random motion collide with each other as well as with the walls of container. This gas molecule may collide with the walls of container also. Collision of gas molecule is a perfectly elastic phenomenon. Elastic collision, it means that during the collision, the momentum as well as kinetic energy is conserved. After the collision, the velocity and direction of motion of gas molecule abruptly change. But between two successive collisions, let this gas molecule collide with this gas molecule. The gas molecule travel in a straight line. This path is called as the free path of gas molecule. Let this gas molecule collide with this gas molecule. The distance traveled by gas molecule between two successive collisions is a free path. Like that, the gas molecule travels and collide with each other, and during each collision they travel straight line within the two collisions. Average of the distance covered by the gas molecule between two successive collisions is called as the mean free path. It's very obvious that the mean free path, this mean free path is inversely proportional to the density of the gas. Density of a gas is nothing but the number of molecules present in unit volume. It depends on the molecules per unit volume. More is the number of molecules present in a given volume, more is the density, more are the number of molecules, more is the possibility of collision, more is the possibility of collision, less is the distance between two collisions. Therefore, for larger density, the smaller mean free path. In a similar manner, this mean free path is inversely proportional to the size of the molecule. Larger is the size of molecule, larger is the size of molecule, there is a less chance to escape between the two molecules, therefore number of collisions increases with size. With increase in number of collision, the distance decreases. Therefore, the mean free path, average of the distance between two collisions, decreases with increase in size of the molecule. If D indicates the diameter, lambda inversely proportional to not the diameter but the diameter square, because we are thinking of cross section of the sphere here, which is pi r square. It depends on the square of the diameter. Mean free path is the average distance between two successive collisions between the gas molecule, and it is inversely proportional to the density and it is inversely proportional to the size of the molecule. This is all about ideal gas equation. Then the concept of mole, Avogadro's law, universal gas constant, and what do you mean by the ideal gas and the real gas? And at the end, we see what do you mean by the mean free path. Thank you very much.